Becky Dowd, and this is The Journey to Salvation. Join me as we walk alongside real people and hear the unique journeys that led them to faith in Jesus. Today, my guest is Adriana Wood. Hey, Adriana.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
You have your rose-colored glasses on.
That's what makes everything better.
Yes, I think I need a pair of those, or maybe I could borrow yours. Adriana, can you share a little bit about your past and your upbringing?
Yes. So I was born in Mexico back in the 80s, good old years, specifically 84.
84?
84.
I'm not going to tell you how old I was in 84.
Well,
we'll keep that a secret.
That was a good year for the Thunderbirds and a good year for the Raiders and good year. And so, I grew up with a single mom. My mom had three other kids, older kids. I'm the youngest one. And it was just she had a rough life. It was rough back then, and my dad was an alcoholic, so I didn't really grow up in a normal, a regular family like you would think. And back in the 80s, that was really hard for my mom. It was like a lot of rejection because of her lifestyle. Single mom.
Was that typical in Mexico, or was
yes.
it kind of okay?
It was especially back in the 80s. I think nowadays it's not, but back then she would feel a lot of rejection. She was really hurt by people because of her lifestyle, the choices she made. And so because of the choices she made, my siblings and I kind of grew up struggling. It was just kind of a rough lifestyle. And so most of the time I would be with my grandmother and my uncle and my aunts, my cousins. And so I think that molded me into the person that I am, because my grandmother influenced me so much, and she was a very, I don't even know the word, like not humbled, but I guess she understood her place. Like she knew this is not she was living with her son and her son's wife, and so she understood like this is not my home. I don't really have a say in here, and so I have to like always sit back and always wait and always like humble myself before people in here. And so I grew up seeing that. So the both of us will wait to come and eat, or she will always make sure that I wait with her. And like,
were your siblings with you at that point?
Yes, my brother and my sister were there. And so, like I said, I'm the youngest, and so at this point, I don't really realize what's going on. Like I don't still have the understanding of what's happening, but my sister did. She's older, and so she kind of just went back to herself and like got really quiet, and so did my brother. But I was just different. I don't know what was that. There's something different about me. I was more outspoken. But so that from there, that was my life. Like just sit back, wait, humble yourself. You can't have that. You can't do this. And life is just always changing. Like I laugh about, because by the time I got married, which is 21, I had moved 21 times. Like I can recall houses that have been moved.
Wow.
And so it was like always, I could never get friendships because it was moved. I had to move. Or I could never get used to something because everything changed. And so I learned to just like be ready. Just get you're going to move. It's going to happen. Like don't get attached. Don't get too close. And so by the time, I I guess 7, 8, that's when I start realizing there is evil, there is bad things happening. I don't understand why my mom is acting this way. And I don't know why my sister is hiding. I don't know why like all these things happening. And all of a sudden I'm aware of evil. I'm aware of bad intentions. At this point too, life changes drastically for me because my mother was living with this man, and he was like a butcher man. So he had, he was a wealthy man, he had a business. And so I grew up not wanting anything. Like I have clothes, I have food, we have a nice home. My mom was, involved. But when he left her, everything changed. And so at that point, I face poverty, like big time. And so I remember we moved to this neighborhood that it was like rough, like the roughest in town. And the kids will make fun of me because I was a rich girl. Like I had my nice dress and my nice shoes and bows. And I just remember little by little, everything started wearing out. And I didn't have, I didn't have nice shoes anymore. And so I kind of fade in with everybody in the neighborhood. And so that was like another eye-opening too. Oh, there's a struggle. Oh, there's no food. Oh, what are we going to do? And so that is why I grew up a lot with my grandmother, because there will be food in there. I just have to,
wait to eat.
Wait and respectfully earn it. And so I think that's another thing where I learned that if I act this way, I receive this. And so if I do good, they will feed me. If I am nice or polite, they will let me stay. And so that was something that I learned as a little girl I mean, it sounds mean, but like to manipulate that. If I want to eat, I got to be nice. I had to be respectful. I had to be, show honor or whatever it is that I had to do. And so from then on, my mom just has, is single. And so really quick, she finds this new partner. And so he moves in, and my sister just don't like him. My brother is just, he's little too, so we're just like we don't know what's going on. But life starts changing. Like there's more. How would say it? There is more stability. So my mother has calmed down a little bit. She's not like doing what she's been doing alone. And so everything is okay. Just going through life as a little girl. And then at 13, my dad dies. And I don't really know him because, my mother left him when I was 6 months old. And so at this point, he's really sick and he's dying by the time I get closer to him, like a year before he dies. And so I start getting to know him. I start getting to talk to him. He's inviting me over to his house so that I can help him clean up the house because he was really sick. And so I start getting to see another side of him that my mother never talked about. She always talked bad about him and just painted this ugly picture about him. And so the last year of his life, I get to see another side that I never knew. And I'm grateful for that because I would never get to know him. So at 13, he dies. And I remember going to see him, and my uncle's there and telling me, he's not here anymore. He's passed away. And I just remember like feeling this sadness of, I'm never going to see him again. And I didn't get to say bye. I didn't get to tell him how my mind has changed. So I think that was the point of turning. Like at that point, I'm growing. I'm not a little girl anymore. I'm 13 years old. So everything is changing. And I think with my dad passing away, my stepdad kind of realized, okay, she is helpless. Like, who's going to protect her? Who's going to defend her or whatever? He knew my mom was not very protective. And so he just started, I'm not going to say like he abused me in any way, but he would start looking at me as a woman, not, as a 13-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. He started looking at me different. And so little by little, he would just try to kiss me. He would try to hug me. And it was like in a weird way. Like he wasn't trying to be gross. He was trying to be like a boyfriend. Mm. And so I just remember telling my mom about it. And I think that's what, when I say I'm different from my siblings, is that I will say things. My sister would just be quiet and she wouldn't say anything. Mm-hmm. And my brother would just be quiet too. But I was just going to say things. And in a way, it was rebellious back then. But I think it made it the difference of that being that way kind of pushed me different direction than my sister and my brother, And so I keep saying that to my mom, like, he's doing this. Like, I would even be like upfront, like he would try to do something. Mm-hmm. And he thinks like I'm going to be a victim and quiet and not say anything. And I would just start saying it to my mom, like, he's trying to kiss me. Like,
did she believe you?
I think she did. She knew how he was. Right. But I think she has struggled all her life. Like, she has a really hard story. So I think at this point she's like, I don't want to lose what I have.
She needed that security.
Yes.
And having him there.
Yes. And so at this point, I'm 15 now, going 16. And I don't know at what point my mom just made this agreement to herself that by 16, she's done with us. And so at 16, my sister gets kicked out of the house and, runs away with her boyfriend. At 17, she's got a baby. And 16, my brother does the same thing. At 17, he's got a baby. And so, like I said, like, because I'm rebellious and I'm not following the pattern, I don't do that. And so...
Do you think she did that for their protection? Or was she just trying to...
I think that in her mind, in her heart, like, now that she's changed, I think she did it for that. Like, I think she's like, you're going to be better off now. Right. You can defend yourself. You can figure it out, Right. And so it was at 16 that he is continue to do that. My mother is just trying to blind herself from it. And at this point, it's like, this is now going to change. So I know there must people wondering, how did I get here? And,
well, let me ask you something before you move on to that. So what did you see your future to be living there in Mexico?
I didn't have anything. Like, I remember telling my mother, if you leave him, I'll quit school and I'll just start working. We will work and we'll figure it out. But like I said, that was just security that she didn't want to lose. She didn't want to go back to zero and do all the things that she's been doing for years. Right. I'm an older, in her mind, I'm a grown woman, so you can survive. And so I think that's what she made herself believe, and that's where it led to. It led to, okay, well then I can't, like, and it was, I know it's the hand of God in every single thing. Like, I know that with 100%, that he would lead my mother to go to my grandmother's house and say, she can't stay here. I don't want her here. So my grandmother would be like, okay, you know. So it was just this very, my mother is very, how would you say, strong woman. Like she comes at you and tells you, or used to. And so my grandmother just always kind of
back down,
and most people did. And so everywhere that I would go, she would go and say, she's not staying here. And so, and my dad's side of the family, I don't know. So I don't want to be with strangers like that. And so this is where life turns for me. And this lady, her name is Rosa, she had kids in Texas, and she would go to Mexico all the time. And she is my aunt's sister-in-law. And she was really kind. And she asked me if I want to come to America and babysit her kids while she goes to Mexico. And I will go to school with them. But in the afternoons, I'll just sit with them and take care of, help her with them. And so in my 16-year-old mind, I have no choices. You know, I'm kicked out of all these places. That's my last choice. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. And so I didn't really think about language. I didn't think about the culture. I didn't think about what was coming. How is this going to be? I just thought that's a door. I'm going through it. And so
you didn't really have a whole lot of options,
no,
did you?
No. And so she made it happen. I remember driving through the bridge, and I think I don't know what town it was, but there was this bridge with butterflies, and I think because that's the path of the monarchs going down south to Mexico, and so they have this path for them. But I remember looking at them and just saying, Lord, I'm in your hands. Like, I don't know if she's going to be nice to me. I don't know if she's going to sell me. I don't know where I'm going. I'm in your hands. And so little did I know I was going to end up here, like in the same year I'm in Arkansas with this Mexican family that welcomed me. And they decide that education is important, so they send their kids to school. Well, if I want to be with them, I have to go to school. Like, that was not an option. So I was enrolled in Cross County, and that's
Did
where...
you know you didn't know English at that time?
Zero. I didn't know anything. I have no idea what was going on, you know? So that's the beautiful thing about being a teenager. I think that's why I like to be around them, because they just... At that point, I wasn't thinking, like, how am I going to learn? How am I going to do this thing? Like, all this...
There's too much.
It's the process of it. I couldn't... Yeah. My brain wasn't capable of thinking that far out. It was just, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going. All right. What's coming? All right. And so that's when I met Derek. That's 11th grade. And it was a turning point in my life, you know. And I have these conversations with Audrey about...
Audrey's your oldest daughter.
Yes, she's 17. And, you know, when she's going through hard things, I try to remind her, like, just hold on, just keep on going, because you don't know what's going to be, you know, like, it looks really dark right now, but, like, if you keep on going, it might turn, it's going to turn somehow. And so I'd remind her of my being 16 years old in another country with a different language and different culture. And it's like, in my heart was the hardest thing, because I felt the rejection of my mom. Like, if she doesn't love me, if my mother doesn't love me, then who can love me? And so I try to remind her, like, just keep on going, because there's going to be a turning point. There's something that's going to turn. And it's going to change. It's not going to stay like this forever. And so,
let me back up just 1 second. So when you were in Mexico, did you ever go to church, or what did you know of God?
my grandmother was a Catholic, and so I was really influenced by her. She would ask us to go with her to mass, and I remember going with her and just feeling I don't know, like it was too serious. It's like, don't move, don't do anything because it's irreverent. And so the heaviness of it kind of pushed me out of believing in, like not believing, because I always believed there is a God, but trusting him, like getting close to him or approaching him. I just always thought like he's just a mean God, and he's just
going to judge you. And
yes, like this old man that is just trying to get me. And so I just kind of tune it out. Like I think that's what I did. But if I have like the earliest memory, and I know this is going to be funny, but the earliest memory I have is me being in this house. I'm like a 7-year-old, and being in the shower and looking up and acknowledging that he is looking at me, and shame comes, and I remember feeling like he's here, his presence, and shame coming, and I think that's when I can say I start seeing the evil around me, where before I didn't know. I don't remember. If things happen, I don't know. But from that point, I acknowledge there is God, and
there's evil in the world.
And evil came in. Like, I guess that was my age of accountability.
Yeah. And so after you met Derek in the 11th grade.
11th grade. So that goes back to God, because Derek is a Christian. He is raised in a Christian home, parents, grandparents. And so I'm going to cry. One of the beautiful things about Derek is that even though he grow up in this, well-off family, he had a farm. He never looked down. He never had that. What would you say, this wall, the classes of social, or who has money, who doesn't, what kind of clothes you're wearing, where you're from. Somehow he don't have that. And I remember my Mexican friends would be like, he's so different. He's not, he doesn't judge you because you're an immigrant, or because you don't have money. It literally homeless. So I think that was a huge breakthrough of the reason why this guy is different. It's not because I don't know. I don't even know what would I say. Like, the only reason why he is not like the world that will separate, that will segregate, that would say you're poor, you're rich, you dress like this, you look like this, is because Christ. And so it was really real in his heart at that young age. And so I saw that in him, and it made me wonder, like, there's gotta be something. There's something about this that I want to know more. And so he was really kind, respectful, which in my world, that, men are not that way. So it was this weird feeling of he doesn't look at me with lust. He looks at me as a girl. And so I start seeing the blessing of the turning point of, oh, there's a different world. There's not everything has to be like it was. And so I was able to have more of a life of a teenager, where before I was always have to babysit or always have to do something. I wasn't really like free to be a child or a teenager, a young teenager, but at this point I'm an older teenager. And so I was able to go on dates with him and like feel special, feel like I have some worth. Where before it's just like I'm just there. And so at this point I'm 16, 17, 18. And we start going to the church with him. He started inviting me to go to church with him. And he would have like a Wednesday night meeting. And, I don't really know English. So I'm learning English. I'm learning about Jesus. I'm learning about life without the pressures of pleasing people. It's just, trying to figure out who I am. What am I doing? And it is 18 when I think it's my late 18s when I heard the good news. I heard the good news at the church Sunday morning, and they tell you how if you are tired, if you are exhausted. I remember I had to do something with that kind of line of
burdened.
Like if you want that to be, you want to be free from that, come to him. He will give you rest and life. And I remember acknowledging I am a sinner. I have nothing. So you're promising something, and I want that. And so I remember just going down the aisle and say, I want that. I want him. And it was powerful. It was really real in my life. I remember reading the Bible and being like, what? Like, he said that? He's saying these things, and just going through it like, man, I just want to eat whatever, the word was saying. And it was so impactful, and it was so real. It was so real. And so we are out of high school. We graduated. And, if you could ever get there to tell you his testimony, he was going to Mississippi. He wanted to go to Mississippi. And his senior year, he's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. And so we start going to Asia Newport, and that's when our relationship got really we got really close. That's when we got really, really close, and we knew this is it. Like we are not going anywhere. And so at 21, we got married, and I have the Cinderella story, like no doubts. I have a sweet Cinderella story where, the prince looks at me and I remember when he asked me to marry him, he gave me a ring. And I remember in my heart thinking, I honestly thought I never would get one. Like, because of my mom, I always thought, well, who wants to marry me? And so it was so powerful when he did that. He wrote me a letter and all these things. It was just really beautiful. And then from then on, we just like start going to, somehow we start going to Cherry Valley Baptist. And that's when we start doing the youth. We kind of got pushed into that, and it's such a young age. But it was like really impactful too in our walk with Jesus to trust him with that, because we're pretty much teenagers too. We're 22, 23 years old, and we just left that life, and so that's when he starts like really start to molding us and shaping us and teaching us how to trust him, because we start seeing reality. For me, it was like normal. For Derek, was not. Like, we start seeing teenagers, they're struggling at home. The parents are on drugs. The real the group of people that really have nobody. And so for Derek was like a really eye opening to be there for these teens. And for me, it was like, oh, I hear you. I understand what you're going through. I know exactly what you're going through. And so it was like perfect the way he designed that. And so at this point, we have Audrey. And I guess by the time I'm pregnant with Ruben, another turning point comes to me. And it's the grace of God. Like, at 18, I accept salvation, and I want rest, and I wanted peace. I wanted to have that security. But at 27, he opened my eyes to grace, to understand that even though I'm doing all these good things, they are trash compared to his holiness. And so it was an eye-opening to, I can't bring anything to you that is worth it. Help me. Like, I see who I am. I see that I am a mess. I see that I'm hiding all these things, that I am not being genuine. I can put up front really good, but it's not really what's inside, And so that's when he starts reshaping everything. And so soon I'm going to go back. I'm going to be able to go back to Mexico and not confront, but like face the what he's doing in my heart. Like, am I going to obey, or am I just going to keep on going my life as it is? Because I'm doing good. Like, I'm not.
You didn't necessarily want to go back, did you?
No. And so I'm doing good. And like, I love it when Dustin talks about messiness, because that's exactly what was in Derek's and I's thought process. Is like, if we do this, it's going to get messy. And we don't have a mess. We got a normal life, calm, and like we're good citizens. And so if we do this, it's going to get messy. But he's calling us to do this. And so, it was Derek and I going back to Mexico. And I remember going down, and we're down in San Antonio, and it's getting dark, and we're saying, hey, we need to turn back. Like, I don't know that I can do this. And so we just keep going through it, just reminding ourselves why we're doing this, why he's calling us to do this. Because if I've been forgiven, then I have to forgive. I have to forgive my mom. I cannot say I am a believer, but I have this hate towards her. That's unbiblical. And so he will do it right. And so he was leading me to do it right. He was leading me to face this thing that needs to be restored, healed, so that I can move forward to what he's got for me, And so that's happening. We got into this another world for Derek, and for, he never knew these people. And so it was beautiful how they all just welcomed us. And it was 15 years since I've been in Mexico. So I haven't seen my grandmother in that long. And so I was able to see her, hug her, love on her. There I got to meet her. And months later, she dies. Mm-hmm. And so I think, like I said, like the hand of the Lord is just in every single thing. Like even the hard things, all the hard things, I know he's got a hand on it. He allowed that to happen because what was coming. And so just being able to hug her and love her, it was powerful. And then from then on, like it goes on to my mom. It's just being able to see her as a person and not judge her anymore, like because of the grace that God has given me, I was able to pass it through her. And like, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, everything was wonderful and angels came. It was like, I had to deny myself from tell her the things that I want to say. And like, and sometimes I didn't deny myself. Sometimes I just said it and like, or I would confront her like, no, I'm not going to play the game. This is wrong. Mm-hmm. And so we would get into these arguments where she's trying to defend herself and I'm trying to defend myself. And I think that was healthy for us to get things out. Because I was, Dustin was talking about peacemaking, and it's peacemaking is not just like keep everything as it is, but to shake it up and like bring it out, expose it, bring it out and talk about it so the peace can come through, And so I think we did that for some few years, but we will continue to, like, I will continue to humble myself, and somehow she's humbling herself. Like she wants to have a relationship with me. So she would humble herself. And that was a big deal because she's so strong. Like she's so I don't even know the word.
Strong-willed?
Strong-willed. So, I don't know. And so to see her bending her will because she wanted to have peace with me was confirmation in my heart. Like you're working this out, because the other, my old, like the older woman would be like, screw you. I don't need you. Go on, go off, or whatever. But this time she's humbling herself and she is taking it in instead of fighting. And so he is doing that in my heart. It's helping my kids to see that. It's so easy for me to talk about grace to them, but now they're seeing it. They're seeing God restoring a broken, really bad relationship. And so she starts coming to my house here, and she would say, she would get offended if my dad's picture is in the house. And I'll be like, he's my dad. Like, why, I wish I would have known him. I wish I would have known more about him. And we will get into these arguments, and that end up clearing things up. And so now I feel like we finally have expose everything out. We have bring everything that was in my heart and in her heart, and we have come to a place where we don't have anything anymore that we can get mad about, or that I'm going to fire up if I feel or something that you did wrong. So I think we're in a really good place right now. And it's because she has surrendered. She has surrendered to the Lord. And so that's a powerful thing too. Like the fact that the Lord has done that, it's beautiful to me, because he didn't have to, And so now she gives me advice, and I know it comes from the Lord, and I'm like, okay, I can listen to you now. I hear you. And I thank the Lord for that, because I didn't have that. I never thought I was going to have that. And so Sunday morning, we're talking with the communion part I was telling about my grandmother being so scared about everything. And like, because of the way she was living her life, she was very timid, very, she didn't want to offend. She didn't want to do anything wrong, because she had nothing. She literally had nothing. She was completely dependent on my uncle, her son. And I guess what I want to explain now, that was my past. That's what he's been doing in my life. But now what he's doing is he is taking me back. And so on Sunday, when I was talking about communion and like being that little girl with my grandmother, I hated it. I hated it to be vulnerable. I hated it that I was told when to eat, when not to eat, if I can sit on the table, if I cannot. The man that took advantage of me as a little girl, being viewed as a thing that can move, or that doesn't belong, or like that can be taken out, like a picture, or like a cup. I don't know, just feeling worthless. I hated it. I want to grow up, and I want to be independent. The rebellious heart that I keep talking about will say, no one's going to tell you what to do. No one's going to tell you when to eat. So now that I'm a believer, that I am seeking him. I want him more than I want anything in my life. He is leading me to these paths of submission that I don't like. I don't like it. And so when I say, I hated being a little girl, he quickly reminds me, if you want to enter my kingdom, you got to become one. And so to be vulnerable, to be dependent, to be told when or how, it really brings turmoil to my heart. I don't want to submit. I don't want to. But what he keeps telling me is, I am a good dad. I love you. And when I invite you to my table, it's because I really want you to come and be part of it. And so, come. And when I told you to be vulnerable, it's because it's good for you, because I want you to depend on me. Because if you think you got this, then you're on your own. But if you are dependent on me, man, I got you. And so it is this reverse mode that I'm in of, I have to be vulnerable. I have to depend. I have to wait until he invites me in. I have to submit. I have to not be rebellious. I have to trust him. And I think because of life, it's really hard for me to trust. And so now he's saying, you're going to learn how to trust me, because I'm a good dad. I'm a good father. And I'm going to teach you the right way. And so that's where I am today. I am trying to go back with the belief in my heart that it's good. He's good, and it's not going to be like it was. It's going to be the way it was supposed to be.
That's really where you find peace, I think, in security, is truly trusting him, because when we try to do it on our own, we don't know everything, but he does.
Yes.
Yes. And so if we trust him, he's going to lead us and guide us in those ways that lead us to that peace and comfort that we could never have anywhere else.
Yes. And so it has been a roller coaster. It's been a ride. But, now that I'm in my 40s, like I just turned 40, I'm going to be 40. I don't even know how old I am. But 40 was a big time. Like he really, the midlife crisis happened to me. Like, what am I doing with myself? What was happening? What is my point here? Like I'm a stay-home mom, but my kids are all in school now. So it's this fight of everybody asking me now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with yourself? And I'm thinking, I don't know.
I remember you saying that a couple of years ago when Salima started school.
Yes.
And everybody was asking you.
Yes. And so it was a real wrestling in my heart, because I always struggle with worth. Like, to the world, I'm not bringing anything to the table. To the world, I don't really have anything to present, And so I think that's another thing that the Lord is showing me, like, you're not of this world. Mm-hmm. Why are you comparing yourself to the world and what they say success is, or all the standards that they put? Yeah. I am your standard. Look at me. Focus on me, and it's pretty opposite. The kingdom of heaven is opposite from the world, and so I think that's where believing comes in. Like, do I really believe this? And if I do, then I have peace. Like you say, I can trust you, But if I don't, that's when I'm wrestling and I'm trying and I want it and I get mad and I get frustrated and, I want to vindicate myself. But when I humble myself, I find peace in that, in his truth.
Yes.
Or else I'm going to be wrestling all my life, trying to fit in somewhere or find the approval of people that don't really care about me like he does. So I think that's where I am, like, just accepting what he's doing in me and how he's doing it, because it's not what I thought it was going to be. This was not my plan.
Right.
But if I look back, man, this is 100% the best for me.
Yes.
And so
Adriana, you also lead our youth. You kind of came full circle from leading the youth back in your early 20s, and now I think you've been leading our youth for three or 4 years.
Yes, I love it. I was just telling them that last night. I was like, man, I love y'all. I'm glad that I get to. If you wonder why am I doing that, it was just a simple thing. Audrey turned 13, and I started seeing all her little friends, or like people around, not just in her school, but like around us. This, with the phones and all that stuff. When Derek and I were doing teenagers, that was not part of their lives. Technology was not like what it is now, and so just to see how the things, it's just so different. And I will, you hear about depression, and you hear a 13-year-old depressed, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, you're just a child. You're supposed to, be happy and not even think so deep. And so I just started thinking, like, oh Lord, what's going on? What's happening? And I just clearly hear him saying, they just don't know me. They just don't know me. And so I know that was a call to me. It says, I gotta tell them who he is. And so that's what I tell them on Wednesday nights. Like, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to pick a topic, and I'm not going to talk about smoking and drinking and all this stuff that is wrong. But I'm going to talk about Jesus and who he is and how much he loves you. And I want you to fall in love with him because he's good. Like, that is why I'm following him, because he's been so good to me. And I want that for you. And so I think they are receiving that. I think that's, I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know what they come, but they do. And so I trust the Lord with that too. Like, you're doing this. This is your thing. And I just love, like I said, I love to see them when I hear them pray, when I hear them talk, and like this truth coming out of their mouth is like, man, that's from you, Lord. Like, you are faithful. So keep on going, keep on going.
And I love the building that they're in. It's a building that, I don't know if the Bridge Church or the Harbor owns it. I think maybe the Harbor owns it.
Yes.
But I guess it used to be, I don't know what it used to be, but you have painted Jesus on the side of it. And if you go down Front Street in Wynn, we call it the Jesus Building.
Yes.
And that's where the youth meet on Wednesday nights.
Yes. And so I love that everything is like, there is no lines. Like, we don't know where the harbor is. Where's the line on that, or where's the line of this? I think Dustin has done an incredible job making sure those teenagers know they are the church now. Like, right. I think that's one of the goals from the beginning for us to say, it's now, not when you grow up. Yeah. It's now.
He does say that a lot, that we look at kids and teenagers and say they're the church of the future, yes. But he says no. They are the church of right now.
Now.
Yeah.
And so I was just telling them, there's some juniors in there, there's some older kids, and then there's sixth graders. And so the natural thing is to go, like, we got to separate them. We got to, maybe do the girls or boys, or, natural thing to do is how can we work this better, or like the world gives us ideas and we want to like follow that. Mm-hmm. And I was just telling one of the teenagers, like, this is the church, like this group, like what you see at the bridge on Sunday mornings, so how they greet each other, how they come and like they welcome each other. That needs to be replicated here. And so can you imagine if we separate the older people and the younger people, and then the women go over here and men go over here, and like teenagers go to another place, and like we will not grow like we do.
Right.
Like,
and we don't live in the world that way, do we?
No. And so I think that's the beautiful thing about how when God is doing it, he makes it work. Mm-hmm. When we're doing it, it's like, it's just really hard. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really work. And so I love that they see they come Sunday mornings and they see it and they replicate over there. Like, it's who they are. And so I'm just thankful for them. I'm just thankful for what he's doing. Because we all are growing. I mean, it is so encouraging for us to see teenagers saying, you know what, I'm going in. Because I can look at being 14 and that's like, God was not part of my life at all, not crossing my thoughts. And there's kids in there, they're like, truly, truly have a love for him. And so that's really encouraging. It's really encouraging that we have parents that are truly, truly pouring in their kids the gospel.
Yes. So, Adriana, if you were to be able to talk to yourself right now when you were 14 years old, 13 years old, what would you say to yourself?
Gosh. Oh. Keep on going. You got me there. Oh my God. Yes, keep on going. Don't stop. Like, you don't know what he has for you. It is dark and it is ugly and it is painful, but don't stop. That's what I would say.
Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Which I have my Bible with me. I could pick one. It's You Can Help Me. It's John. And it's in this world you will have trials and tribulations, but take heart because I have overcome the world. And I was really young when I read that, and it just pierced me. Like, I just left all that, 4 years. I was 18 when I remember reading that and like taking it in, like, okay, because I just left that, 4 years before I was in Mexico, going through that darkness and knowing, yes, there's tribulations, there's trials, but you are king. I've overcome it all, and so I'm going to trust you.
Thank you for joining us today. New episodes release every Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe and get notified when a new episode is available. You can listen on the Journey to Salvation website, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. So, where are you on your journey to salvation?